boys and girls, Colin back again for Assembly. Today we're going to visit Jordan, the coffee maker, and find out all about coffee, how to make coffee, and all of that. Let's sing a lovely song here. If God is for us, who can be against us? You ready to sing? If God is for us.
Looking out, it's a great big world. Where do I go? How do I fit in? Gotta keep this one thing on my mind. Maker of all the universes on my side. And if God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me? He is my strength, He is my friend forever. God is for me, who can be against me? Never. God is for me. Looking out, it's a great big world. Where do I go? How do I fit in? Gotta keep this one thing on my mind. On my mind. Maker of all the universes on my side. And if God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me? He is my strength, He is my friend forever. God is for me, who can be against me? When I just don't understand, God is for me. When life doesn't go the way I planned, God is for me. When I just don't understand, God is for me. When life doesn't go the way I planned, God is for me. Here we go. If God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me? He is my strength, He is my friend forever. God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me?
Wonderful song. I absolutely love that song. Let's go now and find out all about the coffee with Jordan on how to make coffee. The coffee maker, Jordan. G'day boys and girls, we're out for a walk here and I've came across Jordan, and Jordan owns this little coffee shop, and I thought, coffee, and I love sausage rolls, and I really feel like eating another one. Jordan, how are you?
I'm not too bad, thanks.
Say hello to the boys and girls.
Hi boys and girls.
Jordan,
Hiya.
what is your job here when are you a coffee making man?
Yes, I am a barista, so I'm a professional barista, and that means that I make fresh coffee, the best high quality coffee, local roasted coffee from, sometimes it could be all around the world, from Ethiopia, Colombia, different kinds of coffee all around the place.
All this machine here?
All in this big espresso machine here, this big metal machine.
In this machine, who taught you how to make coffee, Jordan?
Well, I actually got into coffee, believe it or not, whenever I was studying in Bible college in Belfast. So I was studying a topic called theology, which looks into different parts of God and understanding the Bible. And a few of my friends there, they were making these different kinds of coffees, and they were all looking fancy, and I had no idea what they were doing. So I tried it and I really liked it, and I got a job in a coffee shop and started working on the machine, and it just went from there.
Where does the coffee come from? Can you grow it here?
No, it doesn't come from this country. It can come from loads of different farms all around the world. So places like Brazil, Ethiopia, Colombia, Guatemala, all those different places, they actually grow the beans, and they grow on a wee plant. And sometimes the beans are squished out of this wee thing called a cherry. There's a process they go through, and that process is called washed, where the beans are actually washed away from the cherries, and that gives a lot of different flavour to the beans. And then you get some beans that are kept on inside the cherry, and they look like wee pips, like wee seeds, and they stay inside the cherry, and that's called a natural process. So whether the coffee is in a wash process or a natural process, it actually creates all these different kinds of flavours and tastes.
And what's the difference between instant coffee and coffee beans then?
Well, instant coffee, it's already pre-done in it's like ground up coffee. It looks like dirt. It's like wee bits of powder, and as soon as you put it into the coffee or into the water, it just instantly like disappears like sugar. Whereas coffee beans, like the one I have in this wee trailer, they're not grounded up yet. They haven't been crushed down. So the grinder there actually crushes it down fresh in the moment, and then it goes into the machine, and then the water goes through it, and it gives you out fresh coffee there rather than the instant coffee.
And what gave you an idea to have a coffee trailer rather than a coffee shop?
Well, it wasn't really my idea. I saw a job opening to work here as a manager for the guy who owned it before me, and he was a Christian man, and I was praying about maybe buying the business from him, and he had no idea that I was praying about this. And he asked me one day would I be interested in buying it from him, because he was opening up a shop, which is very interesting because I was praying about this and he had no idea I was praying about it, and then he offered to for me to buy it from him. So I took the opportunity, I trusted God, and now I own it myself, and I'm running it in the park.
So for you being a Christian, Jordan, it's not just being a Christian on a Sunday, you also be a Christian during the week at work?
Yeah.
What if it rains? Can people still buy coffee in the rain?
Oh, why? They can still buy coffee in the rain. They can buy the coffee in the snow. People still come. Some people think that no one's going to be here in the rain, but they still walk their dogs. They still go for runs. They still meet their friends. And then you can see these wee pods behind me here. They meet their friends and family in the wee pods, and that keeps them dry.
So rain, hail or snow, you're selling coffee?
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's pelting down, it's really, really heavy with rain. Sometimes I have no choice but to close.
How do you heat the water up? Have you got a...
Yeah, there's an electric mains behind there that powers the trailer.
And would you have a fridge to keep the milk, everything you'd have in the kitchen?
Oh,
in there?
everything's in there. It's a wee small space, but you make the most of the space. There's everything you can get in there.
And sausage rolls and buns?
Sausage rolls and buns, everything you want.
What's the most popular type of coffee?
Probably a latte or a cappuccino would be the most popular. So it would.
And what's the strongest coffee you get?
The strongest coffee? Well, the funny thing is, all the coffee that we do here is the same. It's just different names, and the difference between the names of the coffee is how the coffee is actually made, if that makes any sense.
Oh, it does,
so
yeah.
A cappuccino and a latte, there's a difference between them. So a cappuccino would be frothier milk, more foamy, whereas a latte would be creamier milk and warmer. So
the same amount of coffee?
Same amount of coffee, just a different way of making it. A mocha is a hot chocolate with coffee inside it. And then you've got a flat white, which is the same coffee as a latte, but only it's a smaller cup. So there's loads of different names, different ways of making the coffee, but the amount of coffee is always the same.
Interesting, didn't know that.
Yeah.
And Jordan, have you always been a Christian?
Not always. I became a Christian when I was about 21. I lived a very different life before I was a Christian. I was hanging around with bad crowds of people, getting into loads of different kinds of trouble. Involved in a lot of alcohol and drugs and all those different kinds of things. People who know me now from how they knew me years ago wouldn't believe that I'm a Christian, wouldn't even believe I'm making coffee. So God's done a big change in me since I became a Christian, even from then to where I am now. A big change.
For you, is God real? Is it important for you in your life every day?
God is the number one priority for me in my life. And as you said before, it's not just going to church on a Sunday. It's how you live, it's how you speak, it's how you treat people, it's how you act. It's even what you do whenever people don't see you. What you're doing at home. Are you reading your Bible? Are you praying to God? Are you spending time with Him? Do you want to spend time with Him? Or are you just doing it because you feel like your mum or your dad or someone's telling you that you have to? I enjoy spending time with God, and I talk to God just like I talk to you.
And is talking to God, praying important to you?
Oh, it's very important. I bring everything that I'm going through to God. If I'm having a good day, I'm thanking God for that good day. If I'm having a bad day, sometimes I'm arguing with God, why am I having such a bad day? But I'm always talking to God. He's always right there in the middle of it. He's right there and goes through everything with me.
Have you a favourite Bible verse, Jordan?
I do. My favourite Bible verse is actually my email address.
Oh.
So my name's Jordan, but my email address is john1.3. So it's funny because even my email address, when I'm giving it to people, they're asking me, you know, your name's Jordan, what's the John all about?
Yeah.
So it's John 1 verse 3, and it says, all things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. Really what that means is everything that you see today, whether it's your car or your phone that you have in your hand, or your PlayStation or Xbox that you play, or the trees that you see, or the birds in the sky, we have everything in this world because God gave it to us. Anything that was made now and years ago, and anything that's going to be made in the future, God has his hand in it and he created it all. And that's why I think that's my favourite verse.
Do you find that even when you're selling coffee, do you ever have bad days, Jordan?
Oh yeah, you do. I mean, at the end of the day, this is my business, this is how I make my money. So when there's days where, or even weeks sometimes, where it's very quiet and I'm not making as much money as I normally do, I'm sometimes asking God, is this what you want me to do?
And reading your Bible, is that important?
Oh yeah, reading my Bible is very important. I mean, how else are you supposed to know God? If you know your friends and you know your family, how do you know them? Because you spend time with them.
Do you have good memories of primary school, Jordan?
Yes and no.
Were you a good boy at school?
I wasn't always a good boy in school. No, I wasn't always a good boy in school. I really didn't. I loved primary school, but then high school was annoying. I never really liked doing my homework. I hated doing my homework.
But again, that's how the idea of homework is to learn.
Oh yeah, I mean, now that I'm a wee bit older, I wish I would have learned more and remembered a lot more and spent more time actually doing my homework and things in school. But back then, I wasn't as good of a boy as I should have been.
Jordan, our time's up. Boys and
No
girls,
problem.
that's Jordan, selling coffee and a little, I thought that was a farmer's cattle trailer.
No,
Maybe it was on his day.
there was a wee horse box before that.
A horse box.
Used to carry horses.
Very good. That's great. Boys and girls, that's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Very interesting, Jordan. Thank you for sharing with that. Lots of coffee beans from all over the world, especially in Africa. So what a song we'll finish with a lion roaring out in Africa. Boom, boom.
Lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Life will be crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Wherever you lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Life will be crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. I wanna live each day like anything can happen. Can't hardly wait to see what's next. I wanna face this world with wonder and excitement. Face every challenge every day. Wherever you lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Life will be crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Wherever you lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Life will be crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Walk through the valley, on mountains high. Wherever we go, Lord, you are good. Can't hold me back now. I'm gonna fly. Wherever we go, Lord, you are good. Walk through the valley, on mountains high. Wherever we go, Lord, you are good. Can't hold me back now. I'm gonna fly. Wherever we go, Lord, you are good. I wanna live each day like anything can happen. Can't hardly wait to see what's next. I wanna face this world with wonder and excitement. Face every challenge every day. Wherever you lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Life will be crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God. You are good.
that song. That's all from me, Colin Jordan. Thank you for explaining from the horse box how to make coffee. That's all for now. See you next time. Bye bye.